Hey gang, so after an extremely long wait, my Kickstarter Ant Design S Nano slider finally came in. So let's open it up and have a look. Is it worth it? Was it worth the wait? Let's find out. Let's go.
Running through the fire, let's leave it behind. We gotta go now, go now. We gotta go now.
Okay, here we go with the Ant Design S Nano. Now I've already opened this up. I feel like when I do reviews, I'd rather kind of open it up on my own and then go through my experiences, see how I feel. Because a lot of times we'll open something up and our first impression is not our final impression. So I prefer opening it on my own, having my own time with it, play with it, see how I really feel, and if my opinions still kind of hold after using it for a while. So, having said that, this actually came without any wrapping on it. It was just basically the box. Now, hold on, I'm gonna get a knife because I am actually trading this. I'm trading this with somebody else, so I want to make sure the box is in good condition. So, give me 1 second. Okay. And I always use a knife when opening up the edges here just so that I don't tear anything, because a lot of times the flap can get caught here. All right, so this is literally how it comes. The only difference is this gets wrapped. This is wrapped in like some, some cheap plastic wrap. You guys don't need to see that. Everything else is the same. So there it is. Now, I guess this is if I had ordered extra plates, they'd put extra plates in here, or maybe they're assuming people are going to order more than one. I don't know. But there it is. So first things first, let's have a look and see how it compares. It's like the exact same height as the V1.1 and a Magnus slider. And we'll even use, oh, look at, they're attracted to each other. And the Gao cube. So the Gao cube is, maybe about a third shorter, I would think. Okay, let's get those guys out of here. I don't think we really need to measure this, so I'm not going to bother. You get the idea, though. It's kind of a standard fidget size, right? Thickness, again, if I just sort of put it up to the V1.1, it's about the same thickness. A Magnus slider is going to be way thicker. And the Gao cube is actually pretty much the exact same height. Thickness? I guess thickness. So, okay, here we go. This, by the way, is all Zerk, except for this rail in here, which I think is aluminum. So it's got pretty good action to it. I think it could, it could use a bit of oil on it, but again, I'm not going to mess with it because essentially this isn't mine anymore. I'm already sending this off to somebody else as a trade, so I need to make sure I keep it in as is condition from the time I got it. But so these are the plates I got with it. The Zerk S Nano on one side and the hatch weave pattern on the other. So we're going to open this up. Now this, I mean, weight-wise, it feels good. I'm told this is very CP3-ish. I don't have one. I've never tried one. But I mean, it's nice. The only thing, and I think this is just how I tend to fidget with things. When I push this open, I rest my hand, or my finger rests out here. So the little metal edging here slides along my finger. So I find that uncomfortable, which is one of the reasons why I'm trading it. There's just a few hot spots on here that can be fixed easily enough, but it's just not for me. And again, I think it's just the way I hold it. So I tend to dig in a lot. And so this sort of digs into my skin a little bit. The edges here dig into my finger. But other than that, it's well made. It's solid. It's just not for me. Now, there is an interesting way to deal with the internals on this, though. We're going to open it up because everybody always wants to see something opened up, right? My Musketeer bit driver. Now, here's the one thing that was really surprising to me. they use flathead screws. I don't know why, because everybody else uses Torx screws. So it's really weird that they went with these flatheads, but I mean, you know, here we are. So I've got a little flathead, a little bit. Now, this screw does two jobs. It holds the sandwich together, so it holds this whole plate on top of here, but it also holds this top plate onto the housing here, because these you can actually swap out. So some people get multiple plates, some of them hold trits and tubes and stuff. So you have to be careful when you're unscrewing here, because you're also loosening the plate. So that's really important. So make sure to hold it when you unscrew. So let's get in here. So as I'm unscrewing, I can already feel that tight plate kind of, or the top plate loosening a bit. Okay. So we've got, it's an interesting looking screw too. I mean, is it interesting? I don't know. All right. So I'm pinching the top. This is really important. This does not pop off. It slides off. So you slide it out, because these grooves, come on camera, these little grooves here are part of this. So when you put it together, you have to actually slide it like that into the grooves. So a lot of people think you can just pull it off. You don't. And I guess that's what kind of keeps it together. So what happens is this screw is like a stopping post. It stops it from sliding all the way out. It does not keep it from like separating. Okay. All right. So now we have our plate. Now I'm holding this very carefully because of the way you have to deal with pulling the plates off. So I'm going to put this down for now. And I'm going to separate the other side too. And there's a reason I'm doing this. Now here's the inside. These are all, you can see like the magnets are smaller or bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. And these are sort of reverse polarized, right? So that gives you that jump to the next magnet. It gives you that little hoppy feel. Now, I'm going to take off the other side. Okay. So now we have both sides off. Now I'm doing this for a reason, because what I want to do is as I pull this plate off, the magnets inside do that typical, they all attract to each other. So if I don't have anything in here to sort of act as the attracting magnet, all my magnets want to pop off and they want to fly towards each other, which is normally not the end of the world, because it's kind of easy to figure out how to put them back in. But there is a soft rubber piece of fabric that sits right over top of the magnets. And the problem is when the magnets go popping, because they did it to me, they get all caught up in that little rubber, very, very thin piece of rubber. And so what happens, and the rubber is there, I guess, to prevent the magnets from sort of hopping up. But then what happens is as you try to separate the magnets, you have to be really careful that you don't actually ruin that little piece of fabric. So what I do is once it's detached, I put it back. Oh, see, it's the wrong side though. There we go. I put it back to make sure that my magnets don't pop off when I separate this plate. Okay, so see that? We're clean. Everything is stuck back together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a tiny little bit so that I can push this hole. I can push it through this hole because that's what separates the lid. So I'm just going to change out my bit here to something smaller, a little pointy. Okay, now I'm just separating the lid with a little push. Okay, nice and easy. This again is all Zerk. And I'm just going to remove this little rubber piece of fabric. You can see it's so thin. It doesn't really do anything. Even if you were to tear it up, I've tried it without these and it honestly makes no difference that I can tell. And it would be pretty easy to just put something else back in there. Maybe something a little better because that's pretty cheap. But so you can see all my magnets are here now. They're not secured, as in they're not glued in. If I didn't have this other plate on here, they would just pop off. Or if I made the mistake of sliding this plate back and forth, and then these magnets actually ended up hitting the reverse polarized magnets, it would just shoot these things out. So we're not going to do that. But just to show you, this is what is inside here. So this is how you would change a plate if you ended up getting different plates. But it's important to have this piece here. You don't have to do it, but it makes it a lot more secure, and it just relieves a lot of headaches you might run into. Because again, the first time I did it, these guys all flew off, but they all got wrapped around this little piece of rubber. Whatever it is. Okay, but then that's it. So then, little hole here for the screw just goes right back into the hole. Let's see, did I cover it up though? You know what? Let me make sure. So I think when I laid it down, it got a little messed up with the rubber. So here's one trick that I did not do. Put the rubber on first and put it around the hole. That makes more sense. Then you could even go this way. And that way, everything is back into place. So then we just put our one screw. So this is so much easier when I am not doing it on camera. Sadly, you guys will have to go through my pain with me. There we go. Sorry, I know the driver was in the way there, but you get the idea. So now that it's on, we're back. Okay. Now it's the exact same thing on the other side. I'm not going to bother opening up the other side because they're the same. What would be the point of that? Okay. Now I move the track. I just have to slide the track over so that I can actually see the screw hole. There we go. So now there we go. Okay, you know what? This is good. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't holding on the back, and the top popped off. Okay, let's do this. Now here is the issue. I want to slide this back to try to save some of the magnets, but the minute I move over these polarized or the reverse polarized magnets, everything else is going to come flying off. So, Sean. But you know what? This is good. This is a learning moment. Let's get everything back in place. So here's what happens. If these magnets go flying, don't panic. Just slide it back because now all of your magnet order is correct, right? Because everything's sandwiched together. So the magnets underneath are lined up properly. The reverse polarized magnets are actually sitting in between these two. So if I slid this one track, the minute this magnet hits this, the minute this magnet were to hit this reverse polarized space, it would pop this one out. And remember, the reverse polarized space is on the inside track. So this is what I mean. This is why you have to be so careful because these magnets get caught in this flimsy, thin little rubber sheet. So you really need to be really delicate when you're separating, because what you don't want to do is pull off or tear that little rubber piece. Okay. Once we have these separated, this part is totally fine. I know when magnets go flying, initially, our instinct is to panic, especially for people just starting out with this stuff. But you don't need to panic. See that? It automatically just pops right in. Sorry, I keep bringing my hand off the camera. So because this is aligned properly, these magnets just want to go right back to their home. We've almost got there. Our little piece of fabric is out. Now this is much easier. Okay. And then they just pop in. That's it. It's so simple. Like, it really, really is simple to put all this stuff back together. Okay, and again, I was careful, so this has not been ripped. So again, as long as you have everything kind of reassembled before you put the magnets back in, it's a lot easier. That's how any of these sliders work. If you're working with a magnet or if you're working with a wrapped, it's all the same thing. You can normally just attach these to like a metal plate, but because we're dealing with magnets that are polarized and the reverse polarization, I just find it's easier to sort of sit it on top of its twin plate here. Okay, so we have this on. Okay. And that's it. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to be careful this time and hold it down. I'm going to get my... That's it. All right, so we're back. There you go. So this is, I mean, these guys actually put out a video. Big Ant released a video. Oh, here, you know what? I had a little bit of the cloth caught. So let's open it back up and just fix that really quick. That cloth is a bit tricky to put back in. Again, I was running it without the cloth for a little bit and preferred it, but that's no longer my decision to make since this is not mine to keep anymore. Okay. So now this is tricky because I am not on the right track here. So, you know what? Let's be smart. I'm going to undo both sides because, again, if I were to just pop the lid through, the problem is some of these magnets are not sitting in the right place. But you know what? Actually, yeah, let's try it and see. Easy. Easy. No, you heard one. Okay. There we go. So, what's happening right now? Magnets, reverse polarized magnets. So the main magnet, that's what this is sticking to. There are no magnets on these two outer tracks, so they're being pulled. We're going to see if we can get away with just keeping these guys in their hole without wanting to fly back. No? Okay. So here's what happens. Now, this is where, if I slide this back without kind of holding on these magnets, everybody's going to fly out. So we're just going to do it quick. No. Okay. Got most of them. But again, it's really easy once this is all back. Look at this. Look how easy this is. Two magnets stacked up. Because everything is formed together, that's it. They just go right back into place. This is not a big deal to put these together. It's just annoying. Clearly this video is longer than it needs to be, or longer than it should be. So, you know, but like, let's see, we've got our fabric. We're good. Sticking out anywhere? No, we're clean now. Okay, there we go. This is actually good though, because a lot of you are probably going to run into this problem. Okay, there's my hole. Okay, we're good now. Fabric's not sticking out. Everything is right back to the way it was. So yeah, this is just one of those things. It's not for me. I want to like my stuff 100%. And just because of the way I use sliders, my fingers tend to get in the way here. And you can see it's kind of pushing against my finger. And I just find the edge a little bit sharp. Now, I've talked to other people that have used this, and they don't run into that at all. And that just means that they're gripping it differently than I am. So I just felt like it was better to give this a home with someone who will actually appreciate it. Okay, guys, so that was a bit of an adventure with our little S Nano. I hope you guys liked it. And yeah, I would say if you like sliders and you want to try it, I mean, man, the price is so cheap right now. I think it's like $115 for one, and it's full Zerk. So that's actually pretty good for Zerk. So if you're curious, you know, not a huge hit, buy it, try it, and if you don't like it, just catch and release. You could probably sell it to somebody else. Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Woo!